All praises to the Most High God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and peace to everyone joining me on this program. This is the Fount of Israel's Bible Studies program, and as always, it's an honor for me to stand before you on the Lord's holy Sabbath day. Now, before we get started, let me go ahead and remind you to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And please, feel free to tell a friend, to tell a friend, to tell a friend. Don't forget to smash that notification bell, simply because I do not want you to miss any of our lessons. And while you're at it, and you feel so inclined to donate, check the description box down below. Now, with that out of the way, we're going to go ahead and continue in our Bible Commandment series. We are talking about the Bible, the 10 Commandments. Okay, we have a series where I go over the 10 Commandments, each one. So with that, we're going to continue in that. And this is the fifth commandment. The fifth commandment, which is honor thy mother and father. And we're going to break that down. And we're going to look at some scriptural examples of honoring our mother and father and why is it important. Okay, so with that being said, we're going to go ahead and jump into our lesson. And we're going to start in Exodus, where we find those particular scriptures, or that one in particular commandment. So we're going to go to Exodus 20, and we're going to read verse 12. Exodus 20, verse 12. And it says, honor thy father and thy mother, that thy days may be long upon the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee. So we're going to look in there, and we want to show some respect and all that, right? So we're going to look at the definition of honor. So we're going to go into our Strongs here. And as we look there, Exodus 20 and 12. Honor. Okay, in the Hebrew, honor is 3513, okay? Kabod, right? Honor. To be heavy, hold on, make sure I have the right word. Okay, yes. Be heavy, be weighty, be grievous, be hard, be rich, be honorable, be glorious, be burdensome, be honored. Okay, so we're looking at what some of the meanings are. Obviously, it depends on context, right? So we don't want you to be, we want you to be heavy on your mother and father, right? Next one, okay, to be heavy, to be honored, enjoy honor, to be made abundant, to get oneself glory or honor, or gain glory. Okay, we got a lot of make heavy there, but they can make insensible, honorable, honor, glorify. Again, more with the make heavy, make dull, make unresponsive. Okay, there's honor on there. Okay, then we have another, make oneself heavy, make oneself dense, make oneself numerous, or to honor oneself. That's in the lexicon. Now we're going to look at the Strongs. Let's say to be heavy, that is in a bad sense, or burdensome, right? Or in a good sense, numerous, rich, honorable. So obviously it means the good sense, okay? In a good sense, causatively to make weighty, okay, abounding, more grievously afflict, boast, be chargeable, okay, be dim or glorify, to make glorious. Okay, there you go, to make glorious, glory, very great. Okay, grievance, harden. Okay, so it's good and negative, right? Make heavy, make heavier, lay heavily, bring to, come to, do, get, be, had in, honor, right? Or be honorable. Okay, laid, more be laid, made self many, or nobles. Okay, or prevail or promote, to honor, promote. Okay, that's gonna fit in what we're talking about. Okay, be rich. Oh, stop. All right, so we have honor. So we know that the Most High means the positive ones. Okay, not being weighty, not being burdensome, not being trouble for your mother and father. So we have that established. We're going to focus on the positives of honor thy mother and father. Okay, not the negatives. So we're going to go, and we know it's going to be the positive because the scriptures are going to teach us that. So we're going to go to Exodus 21. I want to read verse 15 real quick, and look what it says here. And he that smiteth his father or his mother shall be surely put to death. You still think he means negative? You still think he means be negative, be heavy, be a burdensome to your parents and stuff? Like, no. So we're going to focus on the positive. Again, on 15 it says, and he that smiteth his father or his mother shall surely be put to death. Wow. And let's look at verse 17. And he that curseth his father or his mother shall surely be put to death. That's just from cursing them. You downgraded from hitting them to cursing them. Mother and father shall surely be put to death. See how serious it is. Now it's starting to be heavier, right? I'm making this law honorable as we unpack this, all right? We're making it heavier, okay? So not only can you not strike your parents, you shouldn't even curse them. You shouldn't even curse them. You shouldn't even have a bad word to say about them. Whether it's good, bad, or indifferent, whatever, you really should. He that even curseth his mother and father shall surely be put to death. I'm just letting you know how serious it was, right? We read 15, we read 17, okay? Let's go on over to Leviticus. Let's go to the next book, Leviticus 20. And I'm going to read one verse when we get to 20. In verse 9. For everyone that curseth his father or his mother shall be surely put to death. He has cursed his father or his mother, his blood shall be upon him. That's going to be on him. To even just curse. Okay, you know what? Let's look at this. Leviticus 20. Let's go ahead and look at this real quick. Leviticus 20. Leviticus 20, and we want 9. Okay, that curse, let's see. Curse is Hebrews 70:43, so 70:43. To be slight, be swift, be trifle, be of little account. So if you make them of talk down on them, make them of little account. Okay, be slight, be swift, be trifling. So if you're trifling, okay, to curse your parents is to be trifling, right? To appear trifling, to be trifling, be insignificant, okay? Make despicable. That's exactly what you're trying to do. You're trying to make your parents despicable when you talk about them in a negative light, okay? Let's see here. That's the lexicon in the Strongs. We got light, literally, swift, small, sharp, or figuratively, easily, trifling, vile, abate, make bright, bring into contempt. That's how you're treating it when you do that. Curse or a curse, right? Same thing, a curse. Despise, you're despising your parents. Oh, I can't stand them. They're so this and that, blah, 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 right? Be, make somewhat, move, seem, okay. Light, okay. Really not appreciating the things that they've done, to afflict, to esteem, okay. Be swift, be more, make, shake, wet. Okay, so we have it. So now you guys have what it is, okay? You want to hold them in contempt, make light. You're not holding them in high esteem, okay? You're doing the opposite of honoring them. You're cursing them. And look at the penalty. For everyone that curseth his father or his mother shall be surely put to death. And he has, why? Because he has cursed his father or his mother. His blood shall be upon him. His blood shall be upon him. It said that that's on him. He gonna curse his parents. He needs to be put down, and his blood will be on him. That's it. You see what's happening? You see? Let's go to the New Testament real quick. Let's see how the Messiah feels about it. Let's just check that out. How about that? Let's see how the Messiah feels about it. Okay, so we're going to go to Matthew 15, actually. Matthew 15, 3-6. And he says, but he answered and said unto them, why do you also transgress the commandments of God by your tradition? For God commanded, saying, honor thy father and mother, and he that curseth father or mother, let him die to death. So he shall surely be put to death, right? That's why I read a few of them. I read the commandment in Exodus, and then I read the other examples where they said if you don't honor your father and mother, you curse them, you dishonor your father and mother, you're supposed to be put to death, right? So the Most High, so the Messiah, I should say, the Messiah is telling them exactly what it says right there. So he's giving them back the scripture, right? He's giving it right back. Let them die to death. He said, but you say, whosoever shall say to his father or his mother, it is a gift, by whosoever thou mightest be profited by me. It's like, okay, what I was going to give to you, I gave it to God. I gave it to the Father, or I gave it to God. So, it's all right. I can't do nothing for you. Right? So instead of honoring your mother and your father, you're saying you're giving it to God, right? And it says, and honor not his father or his mother, he shall be free, right? Thus have ye made the commandment of God of non-effect by your tradition. So yeah, you switch that up. Instead of honoring your mother and father like you would normally do, you are just saying, okay, well, I'm just going to give a gift to God. And, hey, that's just as good as me honoring my mother and my father. So it's cool. So just bypass, mom and dad. Bypass mom and dad right there. Right? So this is just, this not going to work. This not going to work. That's ludicrous right there. We're going to keep going. Let's go on over to Proverbs. But that's what some people try to do. They try to circumvent what the Most High says. They try to circumvent. They want to do it a completely different way. 20 and 20. What does it say? It says, whoso curseth his father or his mother, his lamp shall be put out in obscure darkness. He shall be put to death. He's going to be gone. He is out of here. So I know some of you guys, oh, you don't know my mom. You don't know my dad. I don't know my dad. He wasn't around. Okay, here, look. That doesn't change the commandment. Oh, my mom was abusive. My father was abusive. Okay, it doesn't change the commandment. See, the Bible asks us to do something that's very, very difficult because it is for your benefit. Okay, so that you may prolong your days. It's for your benefit. Don't disrespect the bloodline. See, here's the thing. Let's just say your parents are not that great. Okay, how about I grant you that? They're not that great. Okay, so you still need to honor them. Speak of them in high esteem. Try your best. Find something. Even if it's something weak and barely is, well, hey, they did the best they could. I respect they lived in a different time, or they did what they could with the limited resources that they had, or something. It's for your benefit. Some of us come from broken bloodlines, okay? Like, father wasn't around, stuff like, okay, then find something, find one positive, find anything. And just repair that. Okay, find anything, repair that, and I'm talking about with honor. Okay, I'm not even talking about the relationship. I didn't even get to that part yet, because some people, their parent is nowhere around, right? Some of them are already in the grave. So I'm talking about from that standpoint. Find something in their life, something in their past, something that they did, and honor that. Put a little glory on that. What, as they say, put some respect on. Put some respect on that. And then you be the beginning of the positive namesake. You be the beginning of the person. You be the guy, you be the man who's positive, and you put positive meaning on your last name. Because it was a big deal in times old, where they would be like, I am so-and-so, son of so-and-so. Because that was honor. There was honor to the bloodline, honor to the last name. And all of us need to be doing that. We need to be working on that. Oh, well, my father, he was in jail. He was a loser. Okay, find something. Go to your grandfather. Find something redeeming in that line. Have a little honor and a little respect for that. I didn't grow up with my father my whole life, but I knew a couple of things about him. Okay, knew he served in the military, the Navy. Knew he was a Golden Gloves boxer. When he wasn't in the Navy, he worked in construction. So I'll honor that. It's good enough. It's a start. Not a lot, but it's a start. So you have so you want to put some respect on the name, and then you be the positive in that blood. You be the positive. If you Smith, okay, great. Papa Smith wasn't that great? Okay, good. Then you be a great Smith. Every time, think about this. Every time functional adults, functional parents, they actually want their children to be better than them. So you be the better version of your father and your mother. You be the better version. Find something redemptive about them, show a little bit of respect, and you be the better version of them. And I mean that in all humility. We don't do this enough. No one talks about that. This is the problem. This is why our homes are broken. This is why our families are broken down. This is why we're not close. We don't have those close family units, particularly in Israel. Think about that. You go to these other cultures and stuff. I travel the world. I mean, mom, dad still around, cousins, everybody, everybody's still around. I go to these other cultures and everybody is still around. Sure, there's some places where, hey, the home is broken, father's not around. Not like in the West. It's two different things. Mom and dad still have some influence. They take care of one another. Still have some respect. Oh, I don't want to make my father upset. Oh, I don't want to disappoint my mom. That's still a thing outside the West. Oh, I don't want to bring shame on my family. That's still a thing outside the West. Let's keep it going. I know it probably doesn't mean a whole lot to a lot of us here, but it's still a thing outside the West. And remember, the Bible is not a Western book. These scriptures are not Western. Proverbs 19:26. He that wasted his father and chaseth away his mother is a son that causes shame and bring reproach. It starts with us, gentlemen. That's where it's going to start, because you don't look. It's going to have to start with you, even if it's negative and it's bad with your parents. Are you a parent? And even if you're not, you be the better version of your parents. You bring honor back to the name. You bring honor back to the bloodline. And it starts with honoring them. That's how it starts. You build the brand of your name. We got names out there. You got Rockefellers and Trumps and all these names that actually mean you, the Waltons and stuff with Walmart and all that. Come on, you guys can think of all these, because they brought value, and I'm talking about secular value. They brought value to their name. You can do the same thing in Israel. It meant something to be. They were proud. It's like when Paul runs down his pedigree. He'll say, I'm an Israelite. Hebrews, tribe of Benjamin. All that. You see what I'm saying? He just run down the pedigree, run down that bloodline. You and I we can do the same thing. We can bring some honor, put some value, make it mean something, to come put something on our name. Yes, I know. Oh, well, a slave name. Oh, okay, I get it. Got our slave master's name. I get it. But even if you want to change your last name, you want to change your surname to Israel, I get it. You want to do that, okay? But bring honor to it. You're not going to be able to do it if you don't honor mother and father. Because you're going to carry that stain with you. Because you have no respect. Remember how when you're dating someone and you're trying to get to know someone or whatever, what's one of the things you pay attention to? How they treat their mother and father. How they talk about their mother and father. Is there a relationship? Find something. Redemption. A lot of us come from broken homes. And what we adopt, okay, if mom is bitter and has nothing positive to say about your father, then we have to adopt how she feels about your father, and you never even heard his side of the story, right? Well, you probably want to do a little bit of research and go find out. Right? You might want to do a little bit of research. For some of you, your mother may have been absent, wasn't around or something like that, right? Anything like that. If you don't, no matter how thin the pancake, there's always another side. Maybe you want to find out. Learn who you are. Learn their side of the story. Find one thing redemptive about them. Something to bring honor. He says, honor thy mother and father. Didn't say whether you like them or if they're good parents or none of that. Even if they're not parents of the year. Bible's going to have something to say about that. Definitely going to have something to say about that. And we're going to get into some of it. Can't get into everything. That's beyond the scope of this lesson. But we're going to get into some of it. Deuteronomy 21. Let's go to Deuteronomy 21. We get to 21. I'm going to pick it up at 18. Deuteronomy 21. 18 to 21. It says that they teach. Oh, sorry. Deuteronomy 21. I'm in 20. So Deuteronomy 21, 18 to 21. And if a woman have a stubborn and rebellious son, which will not obey the voice of his father or the voice of his mother, in that they have chastened him, will not hearken unto them, so he still won't listen. Then shall his father and his mother lay hold on him, so they're going to grab him and bring him out unto the elders of his city and unto the gate of his place. Let's see what's going to happen. And they shall say unto the elders of his city, this our son is stubborn and rebellious, and he will not obey our voice. He is a glutton and a drunkard, okay? Lazy, no good son. And all the men of the city shall stone him with stones, that he die. So shall thou put away evil from among you, and all Israel shall hear and fear. Well, they're going to make an example out of him because he's a glutton. You know what gluttony is. And he is a drunkard. He's lazy. He doesn't do anything. He's no good. It brings shame on your household so that you can put away evil from Israel so that they may hear and fear. Oh, now imagine that today, brothers and sisters. No, I understand. Disclaimer. No, we cannot take our children and we stone them. No, we can't. I know that. We're not in our own land. We're not slaughtered unto ourselves. I understand that. We're in the West. Relax for those who, for those people who are, how some people are. But imagine that for a moment. How would the behavior of the children be today? Just as a quick aside. Just as a mental exercise, imagine that. Imagine that's just for being lazy and a drunkard, want to sit around and do nothing. Disrespectful, won't listen to you. And you put them down. You think that would really correct some behavior? You think that would get to pay attention? Let's move on. But that's the kind of authority that, parents had. And it's not all bad. Don't get me wrong. It's not all bad. But the point was to raise up good seed. The point is they're trying to raise up good seed, and the parent, they're doing their part. They're like, hey, I'm trying to teach them the way of Yah. I'm trying to lead by example, trying to give them a nice functioning household. Mom, dad here, trying to provide, trying to have let the sons have an example of what a man is, and that he protects, he provides, he leads his family. Let his daughters see an example of how dad takes care of mom and looks after the family, and how she should be treated when she decides to be married later on. Honor. It's supposed to flow up. Flow up. Parents should be honoring and respecting mom, dad, and the Most High. Messiah, the Most High. Vertically. Let us keep going. 2 Timothy. We're going to keep this thing going. 2 Timothy chapter 3, if you will. Now, this chapter 3, we're going to do the first 2 verses. Look at this. This know also, that in the last days perilous times shall come. For men shall be lovers of their own selves, covetous, boasters, proud, blasphemers, and look at this one, disobedient to parents, unthankful, unholy. Look at what they put in there. Disobedient to parents. It's a big one. Honor thy mother and father. Disobedient. And look what happened in the Old Testament. See, this is why he put it in here, because, Timothy, this is Paul, Shaul, because he understood the law and he understood the penalty. And he says in the last days, there's going to be people just like that. See, this scripture may not have meant anything to you before today, but I want it to mean something to you today. See, some of these things, we think it as a light thing. It's no big deal, Don't have to worry about it. I was like, okay, well, And we think it's based off our feelings. We think it's based off whether or not we assess our parents as being good or bad or what. No. It has nothing to do with that. The Most High take care of that. Even if you have a dysfunctional relationship with your parents, which means you may not have to be around them all the time. Okay, cool. You're a fully grown, functional adult. I mean, you have your own place. You have your own. Okay, great. You're supposed to leave mother and father and cleave unto your spouse. No problem. Does that mean you got to be around them every day? No, you don't. You don't have to be around them every day. I get it. But that's a relief. That's a bit of a reprieve for you. If it's that bad, if it's that dysfunctional. And setting boundaries is not dishonorable. It's okay, mom, dad, every time we get together, we can't be at each other's throats. We can't be doing all this fighting and stuff. Hey, I love you, my parents, but if we're going to fight all the time, I'm just not going to come around as much because I love you and I don't want to fight you. Don't want to argue. See? And if there's some unresolved issues, okay, go get some counseling, go get that taken care of so that can at least be functional. But love them at a distance if you have to. Just show some honor. Put some respect on their name. How hard is that? At least that is doable. Just put some respect on their name. What is the old adage? You can't say anything good, don't say anything at all. Right? It may be worth repairing if you want to be a Torah keeper. Okay? If you want to be a Torah keeper, it just may be worth you repairing. Proverbs 30. And when I get to Proverbs 30, I'm going to read verse 17. The eye that mocketh at his father and despises to obey his mother, the ravens of the valley shall pick it out, and the young eagles shall eat it. It's just their poetic way of saying it's over for you. Okay, it's just the scripture's poetic way of saying it's over. It ain't gonna work because you just heard me read in plainly what'll happen, right? You heard what the Messiah said. You heard what the Torah said. Pretty plain. Right? And I just want to get you, the gravity of it, right? I just want you to understand the heaviness of it. That's all I want you to understand. That's it. No, your parents are not going to come and put you down. I'm not saying it. I'm just saying show some honor. I just want to show you and demonstrate how important this often overlooked commandment is. Let's go to Leviticus 19. Leviticus 19. We go to Leviticus 19, and we're going to look at verse 32. It says, "Thou shall rise up before the hoary head," it's an older person, "and under the face of the old, and fear thy God. I am the Lord." Just giving you an idea, having respect for our elders. Respect your elders. Respect your elders. I'm talking about parents in particular, but respect your elders. And the Most High said to do it. Show some respect. Show some honor. We're supposed to be an honorable people. We see it happen sometimes in movies, right? In movies and Western, Black American movies and stuff like that. We'll show, we gotta go to, Big Mama's house. Okay. Oh, Big Mama says, see that at family reunions. Oh, Big Mama, won't do that much with fathers and stuff like that, unfortunately. But that's the kind of honor that we're supposed to have, that kind of honor. To the grandfather, the patriarch of the family, and to Big Mama. Supposed to have that kind of respect. Hearken unto the voice of them. When they come, they want to come here. They want to say something to you. They want to talk to you. You go over there. You listen to them. They may espouse wisdom. Because we're supposed to listen to the voice of our elders. And this in particular, have some respect. Respect and show honor to mother and father. It's not a suggestion. Proverbs 13. We're moving around a little bit. Let's go on back to Proverbs. Proverbs 13. In 1. A wise son heareth his father's instruction, but a scorner heareth not rebuke. A wise son hears his father's instruction. So it's your choice. You're going to be a scorner. You're going to be foolish. You're going to be rebellious. Hear the father's instruction. See, we forget that the Bible sets an example up for us, right? Shows us certain things. We see the honor that, the Mashiach gives to his father. We see that. We see the honor when we look at period pieces during like Renaissance or medieval times or something like. We see how the sons pay reverence to their fathers and stuff. They kneel before their father and they're like, "Father, what have I done?" Or "Father, bless me." We see all that, right? We're going to see some of this in the Bible too, but we see that in period people because they had respect for their parents. They honored their mother and father. When Bathsheba come to Solomon asking for a favor for his brother, asking for a favor, she's like, "Can I talk to you? Let me ask you a favor." "You can ask me for anything, Mom. What's going on?" It's just because he had the respect. The Queen Mother is held in a high regard. It happens all the time. We see the examples play out. We don't even have this concept of honor. We don't want to, what am I looking for? We don't want to internalize this particular concept. And it's sad that we don't have honor. It's of strength. It actually shows strength. It shows strength of character. If nothing else, it actually shows strength. Some people feel like, they're being weak. Oh, because, the old man, I could take out the old man. Eventually we'll all get old if we live long enough, okay? And someone younger will be faster, stronger, tougher, and all that. It's not about that. It's about the honor. It's about the respect. You contain the genetic material of your father and your mother. You are the sum total of the genetic material of your father and your mother. And this is a way for them to have immortality, at least the bloodline, to have immortality. They know that their days are numbered. They know that they have more days behind them than ahead of them, but they know, they rest in comfort knowing that their bloodline, their seed lives on after them. Let's keep it going. Let's keep it going. We're gonna go to Psalm. Let's go back a book. Psalm 127. Psalm 127. 3 through 5. 127, starting at 3. Lo, children are a heritage of the Lord, and the fruit of the womb is his reward, right? As arrows are in the hand of a mighty man, so are children of the youth. Happy is the man that has his quiver full of them. They shall not be ashamed, okay? It's an honorable thing. But they shall speak with the enemies in thy gate. They're going to say, good things. Good things. It was a blessing. Right now, I mean, in the modern day, it's so tough, to live and everything. It's burdensome to have children. A lot of people want them, but they're like, Back then, hey, having a bunch of children was a blessing, was a good thing. Not according to me. According to the Tanakh, it was a good thing. Tehillim 127 says they are as arrows in the hands of a mighty man, so are children of the youth. When you have a lot of children. Israel, our forefather, was blessed with the 12 sons, one daughter, Dinah. Blessed. And they showed respect unto their father. We'll get to that. We'll get to that soon. We will get to them. We're going to get to that shortly. Isaiah 54. Isaiah 54. Just want one verse. Isaiah 54 and 13, which reads, And all thy children shall be taught of the law, Lord, and great shall be the peace of thy children. All of them going to be taught of the Lord, and that'll be their peace. This is how we're trying to be fruitful, and we're trying to bring forth good seed. We're trying to raise up and train up the child in a way they should. You know what? I don't want to get ahead of myself. I'm trying to paint the picture. Because our parents, they can bless us in many ways. They can bless you, they can curse you. They can proclaim over you what's going to happen. Plenty of parents will tell you, this. I see this in your future. You're going to be a great this, a great that. Speaking life into their children. Your parents' voice carries a lot of weight. Now, many of them may not utilize that power, or some of them may misuse or abuse that particular power. Sure, they don't know the power that they have, the power of the tongue, especially when you're speaking over your children. They curse them. We know, like, when we're angry and we want to say certain things about our children, and we curse them. Oh, you're no good. You're just like this person, just like that person. You'll never amount to anything. You're sorry, you're trash, all this type of thing. Guess what? Those kids, they internalize that. So I'm just giving you an idea how powerful. You know what? Let me just say, scriptures say, the power of life and death in the tongue. You can speak life into that child. Or your power can speak life, your parent can speak life into you, or they can speak death into you. It happens. That's how powerful it is. Let's take a look at this. Let's look at Jacob and his sons. Let's look at what he did, right? Let's see what happened. Oh, in Genesis 49, we're going to read that whole thing. Genesis 49, starting at verse 1. He says, And Jacob called unto his sons and said, Gather yourselves together, that I may tell you that which shall befall you in the last days. Gather yourselves together to hear, ye sons of Jacob, and hearken unto Israel your father. Come together, everybody, gather around, listen to your father. Reuben, thou art my firstborn, my might, first of his strength, and the beginning of my strength, the excellency of dignity and the excellency of power. Unstable as water, thou shalt not excel, because thou wentest up to thy father's bed. Then defile thou it. He went up to my couch. Okay. Simeon and Levi are brethren. I mean, these two are close, right? Because all of them are brethren, but they're close. Instruments of cruelty are in their habitations, right? They're together on whatever this cruelty was. O my soul, come not thou into their secret, unto their assembly. Mine honor, be not thou united. For in their anger they slew a man. Ooh, okay, there's a problem right there. They killed someone. And in their self-will they dig down a wall. Cursed be their anger, for it was fierce, and their wrath, for it was cruel. I will divide them in Jacob and scatter them in Israel. Okay, that's a problem. See, speaking life or speaking death, right? So this is, I'm going to scatter. He said this was going to happen. Judah, thou art he whom thy brethren shall praise. Thy hand shall be in the neck of thy enemies. Thy father's children shall bow down before thee. Judah is a lion's whelp from the prey, my son. Thou art gone up. He stooped down. He couched as a lion. And as an old lion, who shall rouse him up? The scepter shall not depart from Judah, nor a lawgiver from between his feet, until Shiloh come. And unto him shall the gathering of the people be. Okay? So all the people are going to gather under the Messiah when he comes, right? Because he's going to come out of the line of Judah, right? So, binding his foal unto the vine and his ass's coat unto the choice vine, he washed his garments in wine and his clothes in the blood of grapes, right? So, war. His eyes shall be red with wine and his teeth white with milk. Then he goes to the next son. Zebulun shall dwell at the haven of the sea, and he shall be for a haven of ships, and his border shall be unto Zidon. He moves on to the next son. Issachar is a strong ass couching down between two burdens. And he saw that rest was good in the land, that it was pleasant, and bowed his shoulders to bear, and became a servant unto tribute. Dan shall judge his people as one of the tribes of Israel. Dan shall be a serpent by the way, and adder in the path that biteth the horse heel, so that his rider shall fall backwards, right? So he's talking about all his sons. I have waited for thy salvation, O Lord. And then he moves on to Gad. Gad, a troop shall overcome him, but he shall overcome at the last. Out of Asher, his bread shall be fat, and he shall yield royal dainties. Naphtali is a hind let loose. He giveth goodly words. Joseph is a fruitful bow, even a fruitful bow by a well, whose branches run over the wall. The archers are sorely grieved him, and shot at him, and hated him. But his bow abode in strength, and the arms of his hands were made strong by the hands of the mighty God of Jacob. From thence is the shepherd, the stone of Israel. Even by the God of thy father, who shall help thee, and by the Almighty, who shall bless thee with blessings of heaven above, blessings of the deep that light under, blessings of the breast and of the womb. The blessings of thy father have prevailed above the blessings of my progenitors, unto the utmost parts of the everlasting hills, and they shall be on the head of Joseph, and on the crown of the head of him that was separate from his brethren. Benjamin shall raven as a wolf. In the morning he shall devour the prey, and at night he shall divide the spoils. All these are the 12 tribes of Israel, and this is it that their father spake unto them, and blessed them. Everyone according to his blessing he blessed them. And he charged them and said unto them, I am to be gathered unto my people. Bury me with my fathers in the cave that is in the field of Ephraim the Hittite, in the cave that is in the field of Machpelah, which is before Mamre, in the land of Canaan, which Abraham bought with the field of Ephraim the Hittite for possession of a burying place. There they bury Abraham and Sarah his wife. There they bury Isaac and Rebekah his wife. And there I bury Leah. The purchase of the field and of the cave that is therein was from the children of Heth. And when Jacob had made an end of commanding his sons, he gathered up his feet in his bed and yielded up the ghost and was gathered unto his people. I want you guys to see how powerful he just prophesied. And some things seem negative and things like, but overall blessing. And he just spoke it. He just spoke into their future. He spoke life into them. Spoke, hey, this is what's going to happen to you. This is what I see in your future. And we already know about, Jacob and Esau and how he just spoke a blessing over their lives. This is how powerful our parents are. This is how powerful their words are. Now, I know some are not in this truth with us. I get it. But that doesn't make it any less powerful. And it does not make void the commandment. Proverbs 22. Proverbs 22. Just us being able to just speak these words. Proverbs 22 and 6. And train up a child in a way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it. It'll come to his memory. How many times, think about this. Some of us, we probably don't think a whole lot about our parents. Hopefully that'll change after this lesson. But think about this. Remember when you were rebellious. Remember when you didn't want to listen to your parent. Remember when you thought they didn't understand a thing. They didn't know anything. You got that in your head? You have that? Now, fast forward. And remember when you found yourself doing something, saying something, thinking something, and it came from your parent. And you had that epiphany and you said, I sound just like my mother. I sound just like my father. Or in a quiet moment, you realize, you probably will never tell them that, but you're like, man, they were right. They knew what they were talking about. Right? So their experience means something. It means something. Let us just honor them. That's all I'm saying. Let us honor them. Let's keep it going. John 16. John 16, and when I get there, I really only want one verse, but John chapter 16. And I want verse 21. It says, a woman, when she is in travail, has sorrow, right? Because her hour is come, right? She's about to give birth, right? But as soon as she is delivered of the child, she remembereth no more the anguish for joy that a man is born into the world. Because sisters can tell us, they're pregnant, birth pains, could feel like it's the worst thing in the world. You're having contractions, you're having other difficulties that come along with it. And in the moment, feels like you're not going to get through it. And it's some of the most horrific pain and discomfort you can go through. And then when it's over, and you look at your child, and you say it's all worth it. She don't remember. She's not really focused on what she went through anymore. That's the kind of love, a mother has. The reward was so great that she feels like wasn't that bad. It was doable. Let's keep it going. Proverbs 17:6. Proverbs 17:6. Children's children are the crown of old men, and the glory of children are their fathers. Give honor to your father so that your children will have an example. And God willing, they give honor to you. Give honor to your father and mother. Give honor to your parents. Let your children see that so that they will give honor to you, God willing. That's how this works. This is how we start to repair the family. This is how we get things back on the right track. It may not be pretty, may not be easy, but it's necessary. Let's keep it going. Ephesians 6:4. Ephesians 6:4. It says, and ye fathers, provoke not your children to wrath, but put them up in the nurture and admonition of the Lord. That will hurt when you show them the good example. It's going to help. It's going to go a long way, showing them the example of how it's supposed to be. When your children show you showing honor and respect to your mother and father, regardless of how they were. And I'm not saying all mothers and fathers are bad, because there are some great mothers and fathers out there, okay? So some of you guys don't even have a problem with that. Okay, some of you got some wonderful mothers and fathers out there. But when they see you, your parents, when your children, when they see you honor your parents, then that gives them the example to honor you. Give them the example to honor you and your spouse. To carry that forward. But they need that example. The evidence of that are when you look at broken homes. Now let's keep going. This is way more important than what people want to give it credit for. This is part of the 10, brothers and sisters. Let's go ahead and finish on up. Romans 13. Let's go ahead and get our last two spots real quick. Romans 13. 8 through 10. It says, what owe no man anything but to love one another, for he that loveth another has fulfilled the law. For this, thou shalt not commit adultery, thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not bear false witness, thou shalt not covet. And if there be any other commandment, it is briefly comprehended in this saying, and that any other commandment, honor thy mother and father. I just add that right there. If there be any other commandment, honor thy mother and father, right? Namely, thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. Love worketh no ill to his neighbor, therefore love is fulfilling of the law. Honoring your mother and father is fulfilling of the law. You want to fulfill the law, right? We just started the last portion, I can't even say half, because it's 6 out of the 10, right? 6 out of the top 10 has to do with how we deal with one another. And look at where it starts with our parents. Look at where it starts. You can contribute all the rest. I mean, it counts with the parents too, but you contribute all the rest of the commandments. Thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not, all that, not cut it, all that. Everybody else. But right after the Sabbath, what are we talking about? Honor. For out the gate, off the rip, we're talking about honor thy mother and thy father. That's how important this is, brothers and sisters. So important, it made the top 10. Matthew 22. Join me in Matthew 22. See, it all still counts. Matthew 22. We're going to start at 36. 36 to 40. 36 says, and Master, which is the great commandment in the law? And Jesus said unto him, Thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, with all thy soul, and with all thy mind. And this is the first and great commandment. And the second is like it unto it. And this is what we're dealing with, guys. The second. Thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. And on these two commandments hang all the law and the prophets. On these two commandments hang all the law and the prophets. So we're still dealing with the 10, even in the New Testament. We're still dealing with the things we need to deal with. I mean, original rule said, what shall I do to inherit eternal life? He took them right back to the 10. Now in this series, I wanted to break down each one. I'm combining the, two of them, combining them together on two of them, but it's like 9 lessons dealing with each of the top 10 commandments. I wanted you to get a deeper understanding. I wanted you to get, how serious it was to each one. I wanted to give each of these commandments its proper due respect. This is just about honoring thy mother and thy father, because this is part of it. That your days may be long, and you put some respect on your mother and father's name. And clearly we don't do it enough. Especially if it has to make the top 10. From the last days, they're going to be disobedient to parents. And sometimes we just default and we think, oh, well, we're parents now, and so we're talking about our teenagers. No, what about us? What about us? Are we showing honor? Let's show a little bit of respect. I wanted to do this series. I wanted to teach this series so that we have a whole week just focusing on one commandment, doing better in one commandment. It's how we learn. This is how we get incrementally better. I hope somebody's been edified by this lesson. But before I close out, let me remind you guys to like, share, comment, subscribe. Do me a huge favor. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. While you're at it, don't forget to smash the notification bell, because I do not want you to miss any of our lessons. On top of that, if you feel so inclined to donate, please feel free by checking the description box down below. Now with that, search the scriptures. Improve all things.